Bhoge Rogavayam Kule Chutivayam Vitti Nirpaladvayam Mane Dainyabhayam Bale Rupubhayam Rupe Janayabhayam Shastre Vadibhayam Gune Khalabhayam Kaye Kritantadbhayam Sarvavastu Bhayannitam Bhubi Vairagyameva Bhayam from Bhartishri Vairagya Shatakam. In enjoyment, there is fear of disease. In social position, there is a fear of falling off. In wealth, there is a fear of hostile king or robbers. In honor, there is a fear of humiliation. In power, there is a fear of foemen, enemy. In beauty, there is a fear of old age. In scholarship, there is a fear of opponent. In virtue, there is a fear of a scandal. In body, there is a fear of death. Everything in this world pertaining to human beings is fraught with fear. Fear. Renunciation alone makes one fearless. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Stories of Vedanta Monks, part 36. Narada, in his Bhakti Sutra, mentioned Mahat Sangastu Durlava, Agaima, Amoghasya. The company of holy men or women is durlava, rare, very difficult to obtain. Then, agoimma, it is extremely difficult to recognize a holy person. And amoghasya, if you really come in contact with a real holy person, his company will definitely divert you towards God. It is not easy to get the holy people. Agaima means it is very difficult to recognize a holy person. Sri Ramakrishna was in Dakshineshwar. So many people saw him. The temple of authorities, the officers, and all the temple people. Who could recognize Sri Ramakrishna? They used to think he was crazy. Amoghasya. And those who came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna, we see total transformation of their lives. Beautiful. I remember when I first joined the monastery, when I first came, 1st December 1958. There were 3 classes in the monastery. Before breakfast, 15 minutes chanting. After breakfast, after half an hour, Upanishad, Gita, with Shankara's commentary by Swami Gambhiranandaji. And at night, after supper, 15-20 minutes reading. A newcomer, brahmachari, used to read, and all monks would sit and listen. So a new book was published, Swami Sharadeshananda's Chaitanya Deva. So one of our brahmacharis was reading, and that night the topic was the life story of Raghunath Gosvami, how his life was transformed by the association of Chaitanya Deva. His father was a very, 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 very rich landlord, lot of money. But he was not interested in family life or anything. He was thinking about God. So his parents arranged his marriage, he got married, but he secretly went to meet Chaitanya and asked his instruction. Please give me some spiritual instruction. So Chaitanya, they told 4 lines. I memorized those 4 lines. It was in that late 1950s. Gramma barta na kohibe, Gramma katha na shunibe, bhalo na khaibe ar bhalo na poribe, Omani manot Krishna naam sadalabe, Braj Radha Krishna seva manas poribe. Do not talk about worldly things. Do not listen to worldly things. And do not seek good food, good clothing. Some people want you are coming from a very rich family, live in luxury, try to avoid those things. Be humble and chant God's name. Stay in a holy place and worship the Lord and serve the devotees. Go home. Do your duties according to your parents' instruction, but keep your mind in God. So he returned home. He wanted to be a monk, of course. Then his parents were happy that, oh yes, he is now put his mind in the state and this rich state establishment. Chaitanya's main disciple was Nityananda. He was conducting a retreat in Panihati, which is maybe 8-10 miles north from Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna attended that Panihati festival many times. So, at that time, thousands and thousands of people go there and gather. And 24 hours they sing, they glorify God and dance and big festivity. So when Nityananda saw Raghunath Goswami, Raghunath, he said, you are a thief. You have come here to steal devotion. I shall punish you. Raghunath with folded hands says, give me punishment. Your punishment will be feed all these people. That is your punishment. Of course I shall do. He brought people money, food. They call it Chidir Mahotsav. Do you know what is Chidir Mahotsav? Flattened rice. In that flattened rice they soak with sweet curd, then shandesh, then banana, mango, all kinds of goody, beautiful, nutritious things. They mix together and there's an earthen bowl like this and fill up and each person will get one bowl. Thousands of people are fed. They call it Chidir Mahotsav. Amazing. He returned home after feeding those people. Again his mind was in God. It is hard for him to stay at home. He was trying to run away, but he was under house arrest. The sentry guards are put in his cottage. Then one early in the morning he asked the guard, could you check whether the temple was open or not? Well, no. Then he said, please I am going to invite the priest to open the temple, so please wait. So saying so, he went to call the priest and ran away from home. In 12 days, he knew Chaitanya was in Puri, which is nearly 300 miles from Calcutta. He went by foot. He knew that I cannot go to the main road. At that time there is no train. I am talking about 1300, 1400, 1500 at that time, that period. So he was working at night, and daytime he was hiding in the forest. In this way, he reached Chaitanya. Then his mother was telling his father, this time if I get my son, I shall put him in chain. The father said, no way. This plenty of wealth and this beautiful wife could not bind him. Do you think iron chain could bind our son? Raghunath Gosvami became an illumined soul, one of the main disciples of Chaitanya. He lived with Chaitanya till Chaitanya was alive. Then he moved to Vrindavan, near Shyam Kunja, Radha Kunja. I visited that place many times, his monastery. And the place he was buried, there is a big burial, there is a big monument. Beautiful place. And there also you will find 24 hours the devotees are singing by turns. His whole life was changed. He became a saint. That is the result of a holy company. Now I shall start my topic. Prachin Sadhudir Katha, stories of the Vedanta monks, part 2, page, my Bengali book, page 297. We started last time Swami Pavitrananda's reminiscences of Swami Vishuddhananda, who was born in 1883 and died in 1962. He was one of our vice presidents. I knew him, of course, met him many times. Great sadhu, great monk. He was an illumined soul. He was telling his reminiscences to Swami Pavitrananda, who was in New York, died in 1977. He was the head, he was a disciple of Swami Brahmananda. I also knew him very well. He used to come to Hollywood every summer and lived next to my room. So at night time he used to tell me many stories of the Jari disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Great Swami, great Swami. Swami Vishuddhananda started about service. He said, I was an attendant of Swami Brahmananda. I used to cook for him. I used to clean his room. I used to wash his clothes. I used to prepare tobacco for him. Then he was telling, if I go to Sri Ramakrishna, if he says, what you have done? I do not know what I have done, but I serve your spiritual son. Swami was talking about service. service. It's very, very important. By serving others, you can conquer their hearts. The Vedantic tradition says, Seva bandi aurudinata sahoj mili ragurai. Seva, service. Bandi, worship. Udinata, humility. If you have these three qualities, you will be able to reach God very quickly. Service. I remember when in 1963, I was a kitchen in church for 1 year in the monastery. Every day I had to go to the market buying things. 25 to 30 people will eat 3 meals. Helping the cook, cutting vegetables, making the dough. That is a great days. But when any visiting monks come from various places, I was in Calcutta. I remember I used to make some omelette for them or some thin arrowroot biscuit and some jelly, jam jelly and coffee. And I used to serve them and Maharaj, tell me the stories. They would open up to me, tell so many stories of the great disciples of Ramakrishna they met. You know, this attitude is extremely important. How to serve. Service is very important. Then Swami Chetanananda said at Balaram's house, you know, sometimes some people practice japam and meditation and they make good progress. After some time comes stagnation. Rasasya. Mind neither goes up nor goes down. At that time, a dryness comes in spiritual life. The Christian people, in the Christian mystics call it the dark night of the soul. That's a beautiful sentence. Dark night of the soul. A gloomy, dark period comes in spiritual life. Swami says, pure thakte hoy. Never give up your spiritual disciplines. You must continue to sit in the shrine. Again, that thing will come back. Nishtha, steadfast devotion in spiritual life, is essential. We know that the story of Swami Brahmananda. When he was in Vrindavan, he decided every midnight at 12 o'clock I shall meditate. Mahanisha job. Meditation at midnight is very, very vital. So one day, early in the evening, he took his early supper and wanted to take some rest. He fell asleep. At 12 o'clock, he found somebody was coming and pushing him. Hey, get up, it is 12 o'clock. He got up. He found a Vaishnava saint in his room. A spirit. It is the time for your meditation. Get up. Swami Brahmananda said, I saw that person also meditating in front of me. That is called nishtha. Your body clock will move according to your spiritual disciplines. These people are not speakers or the orators or writers. They really demonstrate religion. They practice religion and they demonstrate religion. Those type of monks are now very rare. Once his name was suggested, Swami Chetanananda's name was suggested for San Francisco in California. So Swami Chetanananda asked that, would you like to, if we ask you to come go to America, will you agree? He said, no, Maharaj, I don't want to go to America. So Pavitrananda ji asked, why did you not agree? You could do a lot of good work in America. But no, the way Swami Chetanananda asked, do you like to go? He was asking my permission. He did not order me that you go. Second, if Swami Brahmananda were alive, I would get a lot of strength. I would go. These Swamis, I tell you one thing, they are not public speakers. I remember Swami Satprakashananda used to tell me that when Swami Brahmananda went to Madras, the South Indian devotees asked Swami Ramakrishnananda, will the Swami give a talk, give a lecture? Swami Ramakrishnananda says, this monk will lecture? They do not lecture. A few words come from their lips and we elaborate those words and make a lecture. They are not meant for lectures. The spiritual dynamo. Lecture. Swamiji made a good statement. Those who lecture, they are all second-grade teachers, second-grade people. The first-grade people never lectured. They only led the life. And they transmitted their spiritual power to humanity. You can feel their vibrations. They are first grade. Second grade, they talk. They lecture. So we are second grade, you see. And third grade people will advertise. The Swami traveled all over India, but he mainly loved to stay in Kamarpukur, Jairambaji, and Banaras. He practiced a lot of austerity in those places. And when he became vice president, he had to travel from place to place and initiate people. And wherever he would go, many people would flock. And he used to talk to them about Vedanta, Gita, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Swamiji. You know, I read his 2 volumes, Shat Prasanga. In 1950s, it came out serially in the Udbodhan magazine. I was then a student. I used to read. I gave a series of lectures here also based on that book. You remember Gems from the Garden of Saints. Those 2 volumes I gave lectures. You can see in our website, you know. When he would speak as if he's giving his experience to us, very uplifting, very inspiring. As I said, these monks are the source of inspiration to us. Shanta Mahanto Nivasanti Shanto Vasanta Valloko Hitam Charanta Tirna Tirtha Shayam Bhava Bhima Bhavarnavam Janan Ohitunan Anyanopi Tarayanta. Shankara says in his Vivek Chudamani, Shanta Mahantu, calm, these great souls, Nibushanti, they live in this world like the spring. During springtime, all trees bloom, flowers, fruits. So these people, they crossed this ocean of Maya and helps others to cross the ocean of Maya. They are not ordinary people. They are the source of our inspirations. Kamarpuko Jayarambachi, birthplace of Ramakrishna and Holy Mother, are very favorite places for the Swami, and Benares also. But he had great attraction for Dakshineshwar because he started his spiritual life from Dakshineshwar. I also started my spiritual life from Dakshineshwar in 1950, most probably in June. I went with my elder brother to Dakshineshwar. I was 14 years old. I wrote my Dakshineshwar, my dreamland, I think in my See God with Open Eyes, perhaps I mentioned there my experience in Dakshineshwar. Sri Ramakrishna's room is a very special place in Dakshineshwar. I used to meditate there when I was a student. If you enter, even now, if you enter, you will find this place is different. Sri Ramakrishna lived in that room 14 years. God in human form lived in that room. His cot is there, the pictures, many things are there still now. But when I went, the floor was red cement. Now it is marble, it is mosaic. Anyhow, Swami used to go, Swami Vishuddhanandaji used to go to Dakshineshwar every year on New Year's Day. New Year's Day means not English New Year, Bengali New Year's. Paila Boishak. Of course, that day the temple is overcrowded. Swami used to go inside the mother's temple and sit there and meditate and repeat the mantra. People knew him. He wrote to, 1959, he wrote to Swami Pavitrananda. It was a few years I could not go to Dakshineshwar. There was so much crowd. Oof. Of course, my body also did not permit me. But this year I went and I had a wonderful darshan. And standing inside the shrine, I repeated my mantra and I arranged a feast. I gave money so that they will offer cooked food to Mother Kali and all devotees will get the prasad. But I am very happy this year. Swami wrote a letter to Swami Pavitrananda, who was then in New York. Swami Pavitrananda writes that once I was in Fort Wellington Land, Calcutta, that he was the president of Advaita Ashrama at that time. So one afternoon, Swami Vishuddhananda came and asked, "Do you like to go to Dakshineshwar? I got a car, somebody is driving me." Swami Pavitrananda was busy. He said, "No, Swami, I cannot come." But he made a comment. Dakshineshwar ke laab ki, Ma Kali's Pustar Murti to kotha bole na. What shall I gain going to Dakshineshwar? The Mother Kali, the stone image, she does not talk. Then Vishuddhananda said, "Brother, you may say whatever you like, But don't make such comment to Dakshineshwar Kali. She is the living Gigi. The master worshipped her. Saying so, he left. Swami Pavitrananda writes, listening to his conviction and those words, I was moved. It penetrated into my heart. During Durga Puja in fall, Swami used to go to Benares and just stay 2-3 months. He was very fond of Benares, the city of light, the city of Vishwanath and Annapurna. It is a living city. And Swami Pavitrananda was then president of Advaita Ashrama. He used to go to Mayavati. So on his way back, he used to stop in Benares for a few days to have the company of Swami Vishuddhananda. At that time, I'm talking about it was 1940s, early 40s. He became vice president, I think, in 1948, 49. And Swami Achalananda, Kedar Baba, was also alive, Swamiji's disciple. So at night after supper, Swami Achalananda and Swami Vishuddhananda would sit in Swami Turiyananda's room, and all monks of the both ashrama would come and listen. Listen to the stories of the olden days. Oof, if somebody would record those things, it would be a great asset. We lost many information about the direct disciples, Holy Mother. At that time, no tape recorder. And nobody, perhaps like me, who would write the diary. Oof, what a colossal information we have lost. Swami Bhuteshanandaji's talks, the devotees recorded and published several books from his talks. Swami Pavitranandaji writes, in 1951 I came to New York. I used to get all the news from him. Swami used to, I have a bunch of letters of Swami Vishuddhananda to Pavitrananda. Swami used to write to me by his own hand. In 1951, I got the news that Swami Vishuddhananda is in Benares and attending Durga Puja and Kali Puja. And he used to go there and sit, sometimes whole night. Kali Puja perhaps starts at 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock, sitting motionless, one place. In Belur Math also, sometimes whole night seated in one place, immersed in japam and meditation. Those kinds of monks are now very rare. I know our Swami or Sat Prakashanandaji in our shrine. For morning 3-4 hours he will sit in one place. I sit only 1 hour. Of course, nowadays the devotees get holy company through internet, through YouTube. But Swami, what is the necessity of sitting a long time? Patanjali answered, Satu dirghakala nairantarja tatkara sevita dida bhumi. Satu dirghakala. If you want to practice yoga long time, nairantarja, uninterruptedly, if you sit in one place and practice a spiritual discipline, your ground will be very firm, firm ground. Abhash. Practice, practice, practice. I sometimes say, if you go to see baseball game, 3-4 hours you can sit there, you don't feel anything bad. And the moment you sit in the shrine for 1 hour, you feel all aches and pain. See, where is our interest? Abhash, abhash. I remember Swami Chetanananda came to St. Louis. I was going to the shrine. Maharaj looked at me and said, Abhashta rekho. Keep this habit. Morning and evening you must go to the shrine. Swami Chetanananda used to say, Ason sadhu ke bachai. Your meditation cushion, the seat, saves a monk's life. If a snake is outside, anybody can kill the snake. But the snake is in the hole. It is not easy to kill that snake. Similarly, because there that hole is the house, home of the snake. Similarly, the asana, seat, is the home of a monk, of a spiritual aspirant. Sit in front of your shrine. In 1961, I got a letter from Swami Chetanananda ji. Says that you attended puja very well. Then I read his sentence. এখন তো জীবনের পঞ্চম অধ্যায়ে আসিয়া পৌঁছিয়াছি, এরপরেই তো নশ্বতী, সেই দিনের অপেক্ষায় বসে আছি নিষ্কর্ম অবস্থায়। Now I am in the 5th stage of my life. Only one stage more to go. This human body goes through 6 stages. Jayate, it is born. Usti, it exists. Vardhate, it grows. Viparinamate, it modifies. Apakshiyate, it decays. Nashati, it dies. So apakshiyate, I am in the 5th stage, only one stage more to go. Waiting from the call, from the master. Beautiful. These people do not have fear of death. In 1958, Swami Pavitranandaji came to visit India. You see, he came in 1951 and died in 1977, and he visited only once. Swami Vishuddhanandaji used to live in the guest house upstairs. Guest house is now it is a president's house previously. It is a Swamiji's house you have seen. Then south of Swamiji's house is that guest house. So he used to live in the upstairs. And he would practice his spiritual disciplines there. The monks and devotees would come. He would talk to them, inspire them, guide them. Every night after 9 o'clock, I used to go to his room. At that time, he was alone. Until 1 o'clock, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours. He used to tell his experiences of spiritual life. I am so fortunate because if you hear these experiences, you get conviction. It works. And sometimes these monks will not open their heart to everybody. So as Sri Ramakrishna says, the nature of a devotee is just like a hemp smoker. I give a smoke, then I share with you. You smoke, then another person will smoke. So you will have to be same temperament, same kind of longing, yearning. Then they will open the heart to you. Otherwise, Maharaj, how do you do? How do you do? I remember when our Hollywood dancers were going to India, they were asking me, Swami, how shall we ask the senior Swamis? I told them, let me tell you the tricks. The monks will ask you, hey, how are you? What do you do in America? What is your routine? This and that. They will try to know about you only. You go and bow down to the senior monks and tell them, Maharaj, please tell us what is good for us. Tell us about your memoirs, your reminiscences of the Jari disciples. Then they will open their heart to you and be always humble. You must be very humble. Then they will open their heart to you. Otherwise, they will treat you just as visitors. Sometimes some of our ashramas had, at that time, some old sadhus, retired monks, they stay there. And we used to learn so many things from those swamis. You should have hunger, otherwise you cannot get anything. Swami writes that I stayed in India for 4 months, and my best days were in the Belur Math with the association with Swami Vishuddhanandaji. Whatever he has seen, whatever he has heard, and whatever he has experienced, that he used to communicate with me. I was so grateful. I used to only listen and listen. Then he lamented that most of the things I forgot. If I could write and record those things, it would be all spiritual treasures. I could get all spiritual treasures if I could write them. One day, by the by, Swami Vishuddhananda told him, he asked him that, could you tell me how can I go dive deep in my meditation? Vishuddhananda, Pavitranandaji asked Vishuddhanandaji. Then Vishuddhanandaji said, let me read this sentence. পূর্বে ধ্যান করতে বসে ভগবানের দিকে অগ্রসর হতে অশেষ চেষ্টা করতে হতো। এখন ভগবান আমার দিকে নিজেই যেন অগ্রসর হয়ে আছেন তা অনুভব করি। Previously, when I used to sit for meditation, I used to make effort to go toward God, toward Thakur. Now I feel that Thakur is coming toward me. I do not make any effort. Thakur is coming toward me. Sri Ramakrishna made a beautiful statement. If you walk 1 step toward God, God will come 10 steps toward you. But do you know what Girish Ghosh said? I did not go 1 step toward God, God came 100 steps toward me. That is called the power of love and devotion. God will come to us. Then he told, Swami Chetanananda told his story that I went to see him. At that time I was a young monk. He had tremendous, aim had so much respect for the Ramakrishna monks and brahmacharis. He would not allow the monks to touch his feet. Prabhupada Swami told me the story in 1923 when Prabhupada was coming to America in San Francisco. He told me, I went to him and he won't allow me to take the dust of his feet. But I asked him, Master Mashai, why don't you close your eyes and pray for me? So M closed his eyes and prayed for him. Meanwhile, Swami Prabhupada took the dust of M's speech. Very funny, very wonderful story. If anybody would go to M's house, that monk will get 2 sweets and 1 glass of water. Still that tradition is there. M's great-grandson still alive. When I go and visit M's house, I said, I want my things, your home tradition. You must have 2 sweets, 1 glass of water. So they used to give me 2 rasagolla and 1 glass of water. Deepak Gupta is still alive, M's great-grandson. He said that how much love and respect M had. One day I went to see his house. From there he came to Cornwallis Street, and then he was bowing down to that Chonchonia Kali Badi, the Mother Kali. And then I left that place. I was coming, I think, towards Udbodhan, south, north. From M's house, it is north. Then, from a distance, I was watching whether M left to his home or not. Then, from a distance, I saw the place I stopped, I stood, M was taking the dust of that place. Amazing person. He was a householder. One of the main disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. How much love, respect he had for the monks. Amazing. He used to say, if you walk through the Bechu Chatterjee street, where Sri Ramakrishna lived for 3 years, you will be a yogi. God in human form lived in this place. His mind was covered with Ramakrishna consciousness. If you do not live with these people, you do not know the story of the people, you will not be able to dive deep inside. Pavitranandaji returned to, I think he went in 1958. I did not meet him there. Anyhow, he returned to New York. Then they had correspondence. This is a letter of Vishuddhananda to Pavitrananda. প্রভু তোমাকে সতত সুস্থ আনন্দে শান্তিতে রাখুন। বহুজন হিতায় বহুজন সুখায় তাহার বাণী জগতে প্রচার করিয়া ধন্য কৃতার্থ হও এবং মানব জন্ম ধারণ সাধন করো। May the Master keep you in good health and fill your heart with peace and bliss. You have dedicated your life for the good of many, for the welfare of all. Blessed you are. Have the fulfillment in your life. Last year when you came, I was so happy. We had a nice time be together. What a wonderful time we had in Belur Math. This is a letter he wrote during his Vijaya greetings. Sometimes those letters are full of inspiration. I have so many ledgers of the old sadhus, huge. Sometimes I read those ledgers. Last whole summer, I organized all those ledgers. The ledgers showing Pavitraనంద got from the Jari disciples, and Swami Shat Prakashananda's ledgers, Swami Akhilananda's ledgers, Swami Shraddhananda's ledgers, Shraddhananda's ledgers, Swami Pavitrananda's ledgers. They are all spiritual treasures. In 1961, in November, he wrote to me from Benares. He wrote, Swami Vishuddhananda wrote to Pavitrananda. আমি এখন কাছ থেকে একেবারে ছুটি নিয়ে বার্ধক্যে বারাণসীতে আছি। প্রভুর কৃপায় বর্তমান অসুখটা আমার পক্ষে এখন ব্লেসিং ইন ডিসগাইজ বলে মনে আছে। মোচের উপর মানসিক খুব ভালোই আছি। প্রভুর অপার করুণা, এই বৃদ্ধ শরীর ক্রমশ ক্ষয়ের দিকে যাচ্ছে, বেশ বুঝতে পারছি। ঠাকুর যেমন রাখবেন সেইভাবে থাকতে হবে, নান্য পন্থা। I have now full vacation living in Benares. He had some prostate problem, so he needed surgery, but he did not pay any attention. So he says that this suffering is a blessing in disguise. I want to stay in Benares. It is God's grace that I gave my life to the Master, that I am ready to go. Naina Pantha, there is no other way. In January 1962, Swami Shankaranandaji, my guru, died. Then he was then vice president, so he was unwilling to become the president. The all trustees requested, then he agreed, so he became the president. But he lived only he became president only for 3 and 4 months. I remember when they brought a chartered plane and brought him from Benares to Calcutta for surgery. I was then in Advaita Ashrama. I visited him before his passing away a few times. In 15th March 1962, he wrote to Swami Pavitrananda, প্রভু আমাকে কাশী থেকে টেনে এনে প্রেসিডেন্টের পদে বসিয়েছেন। Master dragged me from Benares and brought to Belur Math and made me a president. I am helpless. His will be done. Let me see what kind of drama he will now play through me. Now I am completely an instrument in his hand. Naham, naham, tuhu, tuhu. Not I, thou. That was the last letter Swami Pavitrananda got from Swami Vishuddhananda. June, another letter was there. On 6th June he wrote that I am going for a surgery on the 11th June in Calcutta nursing home, now which is in the hands of the Master. 18th June 1962, I got a letter from Belur Math that 13th June the operation was done well, his condition was good. But within half an hour, I got a telegram that Swami passed. 16th June, that Swami Vishuddhananda passed away. He was ready to go. I remember that day I was in Belur Math. His body came we chanted. I think I went to, they sent me to the presses in Calcutta to publish his obituary. I took his pictures and went to Statesman, Amrita Bazar, Ananda Bazar, Jugantar, Hindustan Standard, Pushumati, any of a few newspapers and PTI, Press Trust of India, give the news of his passing away so that the Jabuchis can know. At that time, all the television was not there. Radio was there, All India Radio. Anyhow, I remember when his body was cremated, I was present. A great sadhu. So many things we can learn from them. All right, up to this today, Vishuddhananda's reminiscences by Swami Pavitrananda. We finished today. Masatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mriturma amritam gamaya, abirabirma yedhi, rudrajatte dakshinamukam, dinamam pahi nityam, om shanti, shanti, shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through, and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, 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 and all. Next Sunday, our topic will be Thoughts on the Gita, part 113. Give us a few minutes time, then we shall go to Zoom.